We continue now our results sequence. We've had Capitec from the JSE, we've had Union Bank from North Affair, and now we're going to go to one of the so-called sin stocks. It's the horse racing administrator and totem fixed odds betting company, Phumelela. Nothing dirt, Phumelela. The results themselves not too sinful, I suppose. Up 9% in terms of their headline earnings per share, 12% up on the dividend, and strong international contributions, although the local side of things not doing so well. In the Power Lunch Johannesburg studio is Rian du Plessis, the CEO of Phumelela. Rian, let's have a look at these numbers now. There's a startling divergence between international and local. What do you want to start with, the good news or the bad news?
I guess the good news first is that all aspects of our business did well, except the traditional business of horse racing and tote betting thereon. The international part of the business grew by 63%. Our betting world fixed odds business grew by more than 40%. And our tote betting on sports other than horse racing also grew quite nicely. What was challenging, however, is the traditional core business of horse racing and taking tote bets thereon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at what point do you say to yourself, well, okay, Phumelela was built on this traditional business of people putting their money on horses, but the fact is that things have changed. People's tastes have changed and different types of betting have taken over from traditional betting, and maybe horse racing now is it's never going to die, of course. I mean, it's the core of any sort of betting operation, has traditionally been. But do you have a look at it and say to yourself, maybe this is something that should be spun off and we should concentrate on the winners rather than the losers, which is what all good gamblers should do?
No, it is a core part of our business, and it's very much part of ingrained in our history. So it would be a sad day for us to get there, and I do believe we're some way off of making a decision such as that. What we have done, though, is we've paid considerable attention to our cost base. It's a very labor-intensive business, staging horse racing meetings. Compared to other forms of gambling and betting, I think compared to casinos, an independent survey recently showed that we employ 24 times more people per R1,000,000 of gross gaming revenue than a casino does. So it's heavily labor intensive, and these costs are increasing. We have interacted with government. There is a parliamentary subcommittee that has looked into all aspects of gambling and betting in South Africa. And there are some positives that have come out in their recommendations to Minister Rob Davies. And we're looking forward to these materialising in the not too distant future.
Let's stay with the local side of things before we get to international and talk. We've spoken about horse racing. It's under the whip, if you'll pardon the pun, at the moment. But what about football, rugby and other sports and different types of more exotic betting? They seem to have been embraced by the South African public.
Absolutely. We launched in the second 6 months of our financial year, we launched Soccer 1, Soccer 10 and Soccer 13, and they have just done exceptionally well and bodes well for the future. It's a far wider audience that's interested in soccer and in betting on soccer, and we see considerable growth in our sports offering. Rugby we launched during the course of last year, just before the World Cup, and it has done okay. We would have liked to have seen it do better, and we'll put some more effort into it. And we'll also offer tote bets on other sports, such as we're looking at Formula 1. In due course, we'll look at introducing golf as well. So we think that there is a healthy future in tote betting on other sports, particularly where those tote bets are commingled internationally.
What about spread betting? I mean, spread betting has got itself a bad name because of the activities of certain people, notably when we're talking about cricket. But spread betting, is that part of your business model for the future?
Not at the moment, no. We're looking at introducing a financial bet on the indices, which we have engaged our regulatory authorities for approval for. So a typical pick six on where the top six indices, the FTSE, the CAC 40 and the DAX, for example, would close on any given day, and offer a pick six on that. That hasn't been approved yet, so it's work in progress.
Okay, let's go to international now. 62% increase in profit before tax, which is a great performance, sort of counterbalancing the underperformance or relative underperformance of the local operations. How have you done it?
Well, firstly, the bookmakers in the UK, through our contract with Satellite Information Services, effectively close to doubled what we earn from the 10,000 odd bookmakers in the UK. So that came in as a handy filler. And then across the board, our partners, trading partners, Australia, Italy, Zimbabwe, all of those increased quite healthily as well. So Australia is probably, after the UK, our biggest trading partner now, with Italy following a close third.
Rian, you were talking earlier on about casinos, and you were talking about casinos in the context of the number of people they employ compared to you, but there's one thing that is the same between casinos and sports betting and horse race betting, and that is trends. I mean, during an economic downturn, do you find that you are fairly resilient, or is it all to do with disposable income? What is the trend at the moment?
Well, we're definitely not recession-proof. I think resilient is the proper word, especially our exotic bets where people tend to wager a small amount in the hope of that life-changing winning pick six, or, you know, our Soccer 13 has recently paid $1.5 million. These are life-changing experiences, and the bet is a R1.30 bet. So when times are tough, people tend to move more in favor of these extremely exotic bets with a very high potential payouts.